Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in all the love that surrounds you and breathe out any worry or doubt you might be carrying. You know, there's something so special about this moment we're sharing together. You found your way here because deep in your heart you know you're meant for more. You can feel it, can't you? That gentle stirring inside that whispers there are miracles waiting for you. I understand completely if you've been feeling frustrated lately. Maybe you've been trying to manifest your dreams for months, even years, and it feels like the universe just isn't listening. Maybe you've read all the books, watched all the videos, and tried every technique, yet your desires still feel so far away. I want you to know that what you're feeling is completely normal, and more importantly, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You see, darling, I've walked this path too. There was a time in my life when I felt so broken, so disconnected from my own power. I thought the universe had forgotten about me. I thought I wasn't worthy of the beautiful life I dreamed of. But what I discovered changed everything. And today, I want to share that same discovery with you. The truth is, manifestation isn't about being perfect. It's not about having unwavering faith every single moment or never experiencing doubt. It's about understanding how to work with the natural laws of the universe in a way that feels gentle and loving to your soul. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together today. I know you've probably heard people say that manifestation should be effortless, that if you're struggling, you're doing it wrong. But let me tell you something from my heart to yours, that simply isn't true. Growth takes time, healing takes time, learning to trust yourself and the universe takes time, and that's perfectly okay. What I want to share with you today is something that can create real, lasting change in your life. It's simple enough that anyone can do it, yet powerful enough to shift your entire reality. I call it the 4 times daily miracle practice, and it's based on decades of understanding how our minds, hearts, and the universe work together in perfect harmony. This isn't about forcing anything or pushing against what is. This is about aligning yourself so completely with love and possibility that miracles become your natural state of being. It's about remembering who you truly are and stepping into that power with grace and ease. So let's begin this beautiful journey together. Let's discover how you can transform your life with something so simple, yet so profound, that it will amaze you. Now let me share with you something that might change how you think about manifestation forever. The universe operates on very specific principles, and when we understand these principles, everything becomes so much easier. Think of it like learning to dance. At first, you might step on your partner's toes, feel clumsy, and wonder if you'll ever get it right. But once you understand the rhythm, once you feel the music in your bones, dancing becomes natural and joyful. The universe has its own rhythm, its own music, and manifestation is simply learning to dance with that divine flow. One of the most important things to understand is that the universe doesn't respond to our words alone. It responds to our frequency, to the energy we consistently put out into the world. You might say 1,000 affirmations, but if your underlying energy is one of lack or fear, that's what the universe will mirror back to you. This isn't because the universe is punishing you or because you're not good enough. It's simply how energy works. Like attracts like, always and without exception. This is why so many people feel frustrated with manifestation. They're focusing on the techniques, the words, the visualizations, but they're not addressing the deeper energy patterns that are actually creating their reality. They're trying to plant beautiful flowers in soil that hasn't been prepared, and then wondering why nothing grows. But here's the beautiful truth. Once you understand how to shift your energy consistently, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. The universe wants to give you everything your heart desires. It's not holding back your good. You are a beloved child of the universe, and your happiness, your success, your love, your abundance, these things bring joy to the cosmos itself. The key is consistency. Most people try manifestation techniques sporadically. They'll do a morning affirmation, think positive thoughts when they remember, and then spend the rest of their day unconsciously returning to old patterns of thought and feeling. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. No matter how much water you pour in, it all leaks out. What we need is a way to consistently align our energy throughout the day, to create such a strong foundation of positive expectation that it becomes unshakable. This is where the magic of repetition comes in. When we align our energy 4 specific times each day, we begin to retrain our subconscious mind. We start to create new neural pathways that support our desires instead of sabotaging them. The beautiful thing about doing this 4 times daily is that you're working with your body's natural rhythms. Your energy naturally shifts throughout the day. There are times when you're more receptive, times when you're more active, times when you're ready to release, and times when you're open to receive. When you align your manifestation practice with these natural cycles, you're working with the flow of life rather than against it. This isn't about perfection, sweet soul. This is about progress. Each time you align your energy with love and possibility, you're sending out a signal to the universe. You're saying, I'm ready for my good. I'm open to miracles. I trust in the beautiful unfolding of my life. And the universe always responds to that kind of energy. But I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be wondering why your manifestations haven't come through yet, even though you've been trying so hard. You might be feeling like there's something blocking you, something preventing your good from reaching you. And you know what? You might be right, but it's probably not what you think it is. The blocks to manifestation aren't usually external. They're not about other people, circumstances, or timing. The real blocks live within us, in the deep patterns of thought and belief that we've carried for so long that they feel like truth. These patterns were often formed when we were very young, when we were learning about life and love and our place in the world. Maybe you learned that you had to earn love through achievement. Maybe you learned that money was scarce and hard to come by. Maybe you learned that you weren't as worthy as other people, or that your dreams were too big for someone like you. These beliefs weren't conscious choices you made. They were simply the conclusions you drew from your early experiences, and they made perfect sense at the time. But here's what I want you to understand. These beliefs, no matter how real they feel, are not truth. They are simply old programming that's been running in the background of your mind, creating experiences that seem to prove them right. It's like wearing tinted glasses and thinking the whole world is that color. The world hasn't changed. It's just how you're seeing it. The most common block I see in people's manifestation journey is a deep, often unconscious belief that they don't deserve good things. This shows up in so many ways. You might notice that just as things start going well, something happens to mess it up. You might find yourself sabotaging opportunities or relationships when they get too good. You might feel guilty about wanting more when others have less. This unworthiness doesn't come from truth. It comes from old hurt. Maybe you were criticized as a child. Maybe you were made to feel like a burden. Maybe you learned to associate love with struggle or sacrifice. But darling, none of that was ever about your true worth. Your worth was established the moment you came into being. You are worthy simply because you exist. Another huge block is the belief that life has to be hard. So many of us learned that anything worthwhile requires struggle, that ease means laziness, that if something comes easily, it can't be valuable. But this is backwards thinking. The universe wants to support you. Life wants to be joyful and abundant and flowing. When we're aligned with our true nature, things do come easily, not because we're not putting in effort, but because we're working with the natural flow of life instead of against it. Fear is another big one. Fear that we'll be disappointed again. Fear that we'll succeed and then lose everything. Fear that we don't really know what we want. Fear that getting what we want will somehow change us in ways we don't like. These fears make sense. They're trying to protect us from pain, but they're also keeping us from the very experiences that would bring us joy. The beautiful thing is that all of these blocks can be healed. They can be gently dissolved through love and understanding and consistent practice. You don't have to spend years in therapy or do anything dramatic. You just need to begin choosing different thoughts, different feelings, different beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you. When you understand that these blocks aren't permanent fixtures in your life, but simply old patterns that can be changed, everything shifts. You stop being a victim of your past and start being the conscious creator of your future. You begin to see that every day, every moment, you have the power to choose thoughts and feelings that support your highest good. And that's exactly what our 4 times daily practice is designed to do. It's designed to gently and consistently dissolve these old patterns while building new ones that align with your deepest desires. It's designed to help you step into your power with love and grace. Now let me share with you why practicing 4 times a day is so incredibly powerful. There's actually beautiful science behind this number, and when you understand it, you'll see why this approach works so much better than random, scattered attempts at manifestation. Your body and mind operate on natural cycles throughout the day. These aren't just physical cycles, they're energetic and emotional cycles too. Ancient wisdom traditions have known this for thousands of years, and now modern science is proving what spiritual teachers have always understood. We have natural peaks and valleys of energy, times when we're more receptive and times when we're more active. When you work with these natural rhythms instead of against them, everything becomes easier. It's like swimming with the current instead of fighting upstream. Your 4 daily practices aren't just random moments you've chosen. They're strategically aligned with your body's natural ebb and flow of energy. In the morning, your subconscious mind is still soft and open from sleep. This is when your analytical mind hasn't fully kicked in yet, when you're most receptive to new ideas and possibilities. Your morning practice plants seeds in this fertile ground of consciousness. It's like programming your mind for the day ahead, setting an intention that ripples through every experience you'll have. At midday, your energy is typically at its peak. You're fully awake, engaged with the world, taking action. This is the perfect time to reinforce your morning intention with focused energy. You're not trying to plant new seeds now. You're watering the ones you've already planted. You're adding momentum to the energy you set in motion earlier. In the evening, as your day winds down, your mind naturally begins to process and integrate everything that's happened. This is a powerful time for gratitude and acknowledgement. You're not just looking at what you want to create, you're celebrating what's already shifting and changing in your life. You're telling the universe, yes, more of this, please. And at bedtime, as you prepare for sleep, your conscious mind begins to relax its grip. This is when your subconscious is most open to receiving new programming. What you focus on in these precious moments before sleep will work on your consciousness all night long. It's like having a gentle teacher whispering encouragement to you while you rest. Each of these 4 times serves a different purpose, but together they create a complete cycle of manifestation energy. You're not just hoping and wishing, you're systematically aligning your entire being with what you desire to create. But there's something even deeper happening here. Every time you repeat this practice, you're literally rewiring your brain. Neuroscience shows us that our brains are incredibly plastic. They can form new neural pathways at any age, When you consistently think new thoughts and feel new feelings, you're creating new highways in your brain that make those thoughts and feelings easier to access. Most people's neural pathways are like old country roads, worn deep by years of traveling the same mental routes. The pathway to "I'm not good enough," or "life is hard," or "I can't have what I want" might be a well-traveled superhighway in your brain. But every time you choose a different thought, every time you consciously align with love and possibility, you're building a new road. At first, this new road might feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. Your brain might try to pull you back to the familiar pathways. But with consistent practice, your new pathways become stronger and more accessible. Eventually, positive thoughts and feelings become your default, your natural way of being. This is why sporadic practice doesn't work as well. If you only travel your new neural pathway once in a while, it stays weak and overgrown. But when you travel it 4 times every day, it becomes a beautiful, well-maintained highway that your mind naturally wants to use. The magic number 4 also connects to something deeper. In many spiritual traditions, 4 represents completion, wholeness, foundation. Think about the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements. There's something inherently balancing and grounding about this number. When you practice 4 times a day, you're creating a stable foundation for your new reality to build upon. Now let me share with you the actual practice that will transform your life. This is so simple that you might wonder how something this easy could be so powerful. But remember, the most profound truths are often the simplest ones. What I'm about to share with you is a 4-step process that you'll repeat 4 times each day. The first step is what I call sacred pause. This is where you stop whatever you're doing and take 3 deep conscious breaths. You're not just breathing to get oxygen, you're breathing to connect with this moment, to connect with yourself, to connect with the infinite love that surrounds you always. As you breathe, you're gently releasing any tension, any worry, any resistance you might be carrying. You're creating space for something beautiful to happen. The second step is heart opening. You place your hand on your heart and tune into the feeling of love that lives there. This isn't just mental, you're actually feeling into the energy of love in your body. You might think of someone you love deeply, or remember a moment when you felt completely loved and accepted. Some people like to imagine a warm, golden light growing brighter in their heart center. Find what works for you, but make it real, make it felt. The third step is clear intention. This is where you state your desire, but not from a place of need or desperation. You state it from that place of love you've just connected with. You might say something like, "I am open to receiving my perfect career," or "I welcome loving relationships into my life," or "I trust that abundance flows to me easily." Notice these aren't demands or pleas, they're loving invitations to the universe. The fourth step is grateful release. This is where you offer gratitude for what's already on its way to you, even though you can't see it yet. You might say, "Thank you for the perfect opportunities that are already aligning for me," or "I'm so grateful for the love that's coming into my life." Then you release your intention with complete trust, knowing that the universe is already working on your behalf. That's it, 4 simple steps that take maybe 3 to 5 minutes total. But in those few minutes, you're accomplishing something remarkable. You're aligning your breath, your heart, your mind, and your spirit with what you want to create. You're sending out a clear, loving signal to the universe. You're reinforcing new neural pathways that support your highest good. Each step builds on the one before it. The sacred pause creates the foundation. It brings you into the present moment where all power exists. The heart opening raises your vibration to love, which is the frequency of miracles. The clear intention gives direction to that loving energy, and the grateful release sends it out into the universe with trust and appreciation. When you do this practice consistently, something beautiful begins to happen. These 4 steps start to feel natural, even automatic. You begin to carry this energy with you throughout your day. You start to naturally pause and breathe when you feel stressed. You automatically connect with love when you're facing challenges. You find yourself speaking with clear intention instead of unconscious complaining. You discover gratitude arising spontaneously in your heart. This practice works because it's working with your whole being, not just your mind, but your body, your emotions, your spirit. You're not trying to think your way into a new reality. You're feeling your way there, breathing your way there, loving your way there. You're becoming the person who naturally attracts what you desire. And here's something beautiful. This practice adapts to whatever you're going through. If you're feeling sad, the heart opening might be gentle self-compassion. If you're feeling excited, it might be joyful celebration. If you're feeling scared, it might be trusting surrender. The practice meets you where you are and helps you move into greater alignment with love. Now let me talk to you about timing, because when you do this practice is just as important as how you do it. Remember, we're working with your body's natural energy cycles, so the timing of each session serves a specific purpose. Your first practice happens within the first hour of waking up, ideally before you check your phone or dive into your daily activities. This is when your mind is still soft and receptive from sleep. Your defenses are down, your analytical mind hasn't fully engaged yet, and you're most open to new possibilities. This morning session is about setting your energetic tone for the entire day. Think of your morning practice as programming your inner radio station. Throughout the day, your subconscious will be tuning into whatever frequency you set in these precious morning moments. If you start your day with love, intention, and gratitude, that's the energy that will color everything you experience. If you start your day rushing, worrying, or complaining, that becomes your default frequency. Your second practice happens around midday, typically between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is when your energy is usually at its peak, when you're fully engaged with the world. Your morning intention has been working in the background all morning, and now you're reinforcing it with your most powerful energy. This midday session is about amplification. You're taking the seeds you planted in the morning and giving them a boost of conscious energy. This is also a beautiful time to check in with yourself. How has your morning unfolded? Are you aligned with the intention you set, or have you gotten pulled into old patterns? There's no judgment here, just gentle awareness and a chance to realign. Sometimes this midday practice becomes a beautiful reset button for your entire day. Your third practice happens in the early evening as your day begins to wind down. This might be when you get home from work, after dinner, or whenever you have a natural transition into your evening routine. This session is about gratitude and acknowledgement. You're not just focusing on what you want to create, you're celebrating what's already shifting in your life. This evening practice helps you end your active day on a high vibration. Instead of rehashing everything that went wrong or worrying about tomorrow, you're consciously choosing to focus on what's going right. You're training your mind to look for evidence that your intentions are manifesting, and what you look for, you find more of. Your fourth and final practice happens just before sleep, as you're preparing to rest for the night. This is perhaps the most powerful session of all, because your subconscious mind is most receptive in these drowsy moments before sleep. What you focus on now will work on your consciousness all night long. Your bedtime practice is like having a loving conversation with the universe before you rest. You're releasing the day with gratitude, reaffirming your trust in life's goodness, and programming your mind with positive expectations for tomorrow. Many people find that their bedtime practice improves not just their manifestation results, but the quality of their sleep as well. The beautiful thing about these 4 times is that they become natural anchors in your day. Instead of feeling like you have to remember to do some complicated manifestation technique, you have 4 simple moments that become as natural as brushing your teeth. They begin to feel less like something you have to do and more like something you get to do. 4 opportunities each day to connect with love and possibility. And as you continue this practice, something magical begins to happen. These 4 formal sessions start to influence the spaces in between. You find yourself naturally breathing deeper throughout the day. Your heart stays more open during challenging moments. Your words become more intentional and positive. Your gratitude becomes more spontaneous and genuine. You're not just doing a manifestation practice. You're becoming a person who naturally aligns with miracles. You're training yourself to live from love instead of fear, from possibility instead of limitation, from trust instead of worry. And that, beautiful soul, is when the real magic begins to happen in your life. I know that as you begin this beautiful practice, there might be moments when your mind starts to resist. This is completely normal, darling, and I want you to be prepared for it so you don't get discouraged. Resistance isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's actually a sign that you're doing something right. You're challenging old patterns, and those patterns don't give up without a fight. Your mind might tell you that this practice is too simple to work. It might say, if manifestation were this easy, everyone would be doing it. But here's what I've learned. Simple doesn't mean ineffective. Some of the most powerful truths in life are beautifully simple. Love is simple. Breathing is simple. Yet both are essential to life itself. Sometimes resistance shows up as skepticism. You might find yourself thinking, this sounds too good to be true, or these kinds of things never work for people like me. When these thoughts arise, don't fight them. Instead, gently acknowledge them and remember that skepticism is just fear wearing a different mask. It's your old programming trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. Other times, resistance appears as the feeling that you don't have time for this practice. Your mind might say, I'm too busy, or I'll start tomorrow when things calm down. But beautiful soul, if you don't have 15 to 20 minutes total throughout your entire day for something that could transform your life, then this practice is exactly what you need most. It will help you create the very peace and flow you're seeking. Sometimes resistance feels like impatience. You might do the practice for a few days or weeks and then think, where are my results? This isn't working fast enough. When impatience arises, remember that you're working with natural laws that operate in perfect timing. You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to see if it's growing. Trust the process, even when you can't see the evidence yet. One of the most common forms of resistance I see is what I call the unworthiness whisper. This is when a quiet voice inside says, who am I to ask for miracles? Other people deserve good things, but not me. Sweet one, this voice is not telling you the truth. This voice comes from old hurt, old conditioning that taught you to put everyone else first and yourself last. When these feelings of unworthiness arise, be extra gentle with yourself. Place your hand on your heart and remind yourself that you are a precious child of the universe. Your happiness matters. Your dreams matter. You matter. The universe doesn't play favorites. Every single being is equally deserving of love, joy, and abundance. Another form of resistance is feeling silly or self-conscious about the practice. You might worry about what others would think if they saw you placing your hand on your heart and speaking intentions. But remember, this is your private, sacred time with yourself and the universe. What others think is none of your business. Your relationship with your own soul is the most important relationship you'll ever have. Sometimes resistance shows up as forgetfulness. You genuinely want to do the practice, but you keep forgetting until it's too late in the day. This isn't really about memory. It's about your subconscious mind trying to maintain the status quo. To overcome this, create gentle reminders for yourself. Set phone alarms with loving messages, put sticky notes where you'll see them, or pair your practice with something you already do consistently. When doubt creeps in, and it will, remember that doubt is just a thought, not a truth. You don't have to believe every thought that passes through your mind. You can observe doubt with compassion and then choose to focus on possibility instead. You can say to yourself, "Thank you, doubt, for trying to protect me, but I choose to trust in my good." Here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes resistance shows up as sudden life chaos right after you start the practice. Old patterns might seem to intensify before they dissolve. Relationships might get challenging, work might become stressful, or unexpected problems might arise. This isn't the universe punishing you. It's old energy clearing out to make room for the new. When this happens, it's more important than ever to stick with your practice. These moments of chaos are actually evidence that your energy is shifting. It's like cleaning out a closet. Things get messier before they get organized. Stay the course, beautiful one. The storm will pass, and you'll emerge stronger and clearer than before. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by the practice, remember that you can always start smaller. Maybe you begin with just 2 times a day, or maybe you shorten each session to just 1 or 2 minutes. The key is consistency, not perfection. A small practice done consistently is infinitely more powerful than a perfect practice done sporadically. And please, be patient with yourself as you learn. You wouldn't expect to play piano perfectly after a week of practice. This is the same. You're learning a new skill, a new way of being. Some days will feel easier than others. Some sessions will feel more powerful than others. All of this is perfectly normal and part of the beautiful journey of growth. Now, let's talk about how to weave this practice into your real everyday life. Because I know you don't live in a spiritual bubble where everything is quiet and peaceful all the time. You have responsibilities, relationships, work demands, and unexpected challenges just like everyone else. The beauty of this practice is that it's designed to fit into your actual life, not some idealized version of it. If you have young children, your morning practice might happen while they're still sleeping, or even in the bathroom if that's the only place you can find a few minutes of peace. There's no shame in this. The universe meets you wherever you are. Your intention and love matter more than the perfect setting. If you work in an office, your midday practice might happen in your car during lunch break, or even at your desk if you can close your eyes for a few minutes. You don't need to announce what you're doing. This is your private time with yourself. A simple bathroom break can become a sacred pause if you approach it with intention. For those with demanding schedules, remember that this practice is flexible. If you miss your usual midday time, you can do it in the afternoon. If your evening gets hectic, you can combine your evening and bedtime practices. The goal isn't rigid perfection, it's loving consistency. If you travel frequently, this practice becomes even more valuable. Hotel rooms, airplanes, waiting areas, all of these can become sacred spaces when you bring conscious intention to them. Your practice becomes an anchor of stability in an ever-changing environment. For people dealing with health challenges, this practice can be deeply healing. If you're in physical pain, your sacred pause might focus on breathing into the pain with love rather than resistance. If you're dealing with anxiety or depression, your heart opening might be a gentle self-compassion practice. The beauty is that this practice adapts to meet your needs. If you're going through relationship difficulties, your clear intention might focus on calling in more love and understanding, while your grateful release might acknowledge the growth that comes through challenges. If you're facing financial stress, your practice becomes a powerful way to shift from scarcity thinking to abundance consciousness. When life gets overwhelming, and it will, your 4 daily practices become lifelines. They're not something else you have to do perfectly. They're gifts you give yourself. They're moments of returning home to yourself, no matter what chaos is swirling around you. For busy parents, try involving your children in age-appropriate ways. Kids naturally understand the power of intention and gratitude. You might create a family gratitude practice in the evening or teach them simple breathing exercises. You're not just transforming your own life, you're modeling conscious living for the next generation. If you have a partner who isn't interested in this kind of practice, that's perfectly okay. You don't need anyone else's permission or participation to transform your own life. Sometimes the best way to inspire others is simply by being an example of what's possible. As you become more peaceful, joyful, and aligned, others around you will notice. The key is to make this practice yours. Maybe you prefer to write your intentions in a journal rather than speaking them. Maybe you like to do your practice outdoors when possible. Maybe you add gentle music or light a candle. There's no wrong way to do this as long as you're approaching it with love and consistency. Remember, this isn't about adding stress to your life, it's about adding ease. If the practice ever starts to feel like a burden, you're approaching it from the wrong energy. Come back to love. Come back to the understanding that this is a gift you're giving yourself, not another item on your to-do list. As you continue this practice week after week, you'll start to notice that it becomes as natural as any other healthy habit. You won't have to force yourself to remember. Your body and soul will begin to crave these moments of connection and alignment. You'll look forward to your sacred pauses throughout the day. And here's something beautiful. As this practice becomes integrated into your life, you'll find that it naturally expands. You'll start to catch yourself taking conscious breaths during stressful moments. You'll notice your heart opening more readily to love. Your words will become more intentional and positive. Your gratitude will flow more freely throughout your day. You're not just doing a manifestation practice. You're becoming a more conscious, loving version of yourself. And that transformation touches every area of your life, every relationship, every experience you have. As you begin to live this practice consistently, beautiful soul, you're going to start noticing signs that your energy is shifting and your manifestations are on their way. These signs are so important to recognize because they help you stay encouraged and aligned even before your physical reality catches up with your new inner reality. The first signs usually happen internally, in your thoughts and feelings. You might notice that you're naturally more optimistic, that you bounce back from disappointments more quickly, or that you're less affected by other people's negativity. These aren't small changes. They're evidence that you're literally rewiring your brain and raising your vibration. You might start having more positive, uplifting thoughts throughout the day without even trying. Where you used to automatically worry about problems, you might find yourself naturally looking for solutions. Where you used to feel defeated by challenges, you might discover a new sense of trust that everything will work out. This is your new neural pathways beginning to become your default. Another early sign is increased synchronicity in your life. You might start noticing more meaningful coincidences, running into exactly the right person at the right time, hearing about opportunities that perfectly match your intentions, or receiving unexpected support just when you need it. The universe is always sending us signs and support, but when our vibration is aligned, we become much better at recognizing and receiving these gifts. You might also notice that your intuition becomes stronger and clearer. That inner knowing, that gut feeling starts speaking to you more distinctly. You find yourself making better decisions more easily because you're more connected to your inner wisdom. This is what happens when you regularly quiet your mind and tune into your heart. You begin to hear the guidance that's always been there. Physical changes often accompany energetic shifts. You might find that you're sleeping better, feeling more energetic, or experiencing less tension in your body. When we align with love and possibility instead of fear and resistance, our entire nervous system relaxes. Your body literally feels safer, more at peace. People around you will start to notice changes in your energy. You might receive comments like, "You seem different," or "You're glowing," or "You seem so much more peaceful." This isn't your imagination. When you consistently align with love and gratitude, it shows in your presence, your posture, your facial expressions, even your voice. You'll start attracting different kinds of experiences and people into your life. Opportunities that align with your intentions will begin appearing more frequently. People who resonate with your new energy will be drawn to you, while relationships that no longer serve your highest good might naturally fade away. This isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary for your growth. Another beautiful sign is that you'll start feeling genuinely excited about your future. Where you might have felt stuck or hopeless before, you'll begin to feel anticipation and possibility. You'll catch yourself daydreaming about your desires not from a place of lack, but from a place of joyful expectation. You might notice that things start flowing more easily in your daily life. Traffic lights turn green just as you approach them. Parking spaces open up right where you need them. The line you choose at the store moves fastest. These might seem like small things, but they're actually evidence that you're in flow with life rather than fighting against it. Your relationship with money often shifts early in this process. Even if you haven't manifested large sums yet, you might notice that you're worrying less about money, or that small amounts show up in unexpected ways. You might find a forgotten bill in your pocket, receive an unexpected refund, or discover a way to save money you hadn't thought of before. Sometimes the signs come through your dreams. You might have vivid, positive dreams about your desires, or wake up with solutions to problems you've been working on. Your subconscious mind is processing the new programming you're giving it and communicating back to you through dreams. You'll also notice that your perception of time changes. Where you used to feel rushed and stressed, you might find that you naturally have enough time for what matters most. This happens because you're operating from a place of trust rather than fear, and time always expands when we're in flow. One of the most beautiful signs is when you start feeling grateful for challenges as they arise, knowing that they're opportunities for growth rather than evidence that your practice isn't working. You begin to trust that everything is happening for your highest good, even when you can't see the bigger picture yet. Remember, these signs are like green shoots pushing through the soil. They're evidence that your seeds are growing even though you can't see the full flower yet. Don't dismiss them as coincidence or luck. Acknowledge them, celebrate them, and let them strengthen your faith in the process. And please, don't compare your signs to anyone else's. Your journey is unique, and your manifestations will unfold in the perfect way and timing for you. What matters is that you stay consistent with your practice and remain open to receiving your good in whatever form it wants to take. Sweet, beautiful soul, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to take a moment to feel the shift that's already happening within you. Just by being here, just by opening your heart and mind to these possibilities, you've already begun to change. The very fact that you've stayed with me through this entire journey tells me that you're ready for something magnificent to unfold in your life. What I've shared with you today isn't just theory or wishful thinking. It's a proven path that has transformed countless lives, including my own. This simple practice of aligning your energy 4 times each day has the power to completely revolutionize your relationship with life, with yourself, and with the infinite possibilities that surround you always. But now comes the most important part: taking what you've learned and putting it into loving action. All the knowledge in the world means nothing without application. Your life will change not because you understand these principles, but because you live them, breathe them, and make them a part of who you are. I want you to know that I believe in you completely. I believe in your ability to create the life you desire. I believe in your worthiness to receive all the love, joy, and abundance your heart can hold. Most importantly, I believe that the universe is conspiring in your favor, always and in all ways, to bring you everything that serves your highest good. Your journey of transformation begins with your very next breath. You don't have to wait until tomorrow morning, or until you feel more ready, or until your circumstances change. You can start right now, in this moment, by taking 3 deep, conscious breaths and connecting with the love that lives in your heart. Remember, this practice isn't about perfection, it's about progression. It's about showing up for yourself with love and consistency, day after day, choice after choice. Some days will feel easier than others. Some sessions will feel more powerful than others. All of this is part of the beautiful, imperfect, perfectly human journey of growth. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new way of being. Be gentle with the old patterns as they arise to be healed. Be compassionate with your doubts and fears. They're not your enemies, but old protectors that haven't yet learned they can rest. And be excited about the miracles that are already on their way to you, even though you can't see them yet. You have everything within you right now to create the life of your dreams. You don't need more education, more time, more money, or more anything external. You just need to remember who you truly are. A magnificent being of infinite worth and unlimited creative power. You just need to align with that truth and let it express through you. The universe is waiting for your clear signal. It's waiting for you to step into your power with love and intention. It's waiting to shower you with blessings beyond your wildest imagination. And it starts with this simple, beautiful practice that you can begin today. So here's my invitation to you, my beautiful, precious friend. Commit to this practice for the next 30 days. Give yourself this gift of consistent alignment, love, and possibility. Watch how your life begins to transform, how opportunities open up, how relationships improve, how abundance flows, and how joy becomes your natural state. You are ready, you are worthy, you are loved beyond measure, and your time for miracles is now. Take a deep breath with me one more time. Feel the love that surrounds you. Trust in the beautiful unfolding of your life, and know that I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Your miracle life is waiting for you. Go live it, beautiful soul. Go live it with all the love and courage and trust in your magnificent heart.